Can you actually make great pulled pork in 5 hours? Today we're gonna find out, but listen, 5 hours means we've got to unpack it, prep it, rub it, smoke it, wrap it, wait, shred it, and be done in 5 hours. Let's get into it. What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake, and today we've got a time crisis on our hands. I need to get these 2 pork butts done in under 5 hours, and it needs to be just as good as some low and slow. This is going to some people that are gonna enjoy it. It's not even for me, but I wanna make sure it's a good product. So we're gonna use a couple tricks I'm gonna share with you throughout the video. First off, we gotta get these guys prepped. So we have a Berkshire and a Komodo. Very similar. I want to say that Berkshire is a little sweeter, but they're both high quality porks. I mean, when you're going to make something that takes a little bit of time, I'm a big believer in not cutting corners in your meat. Commodity pork, what I notice when you use it, you need to pull out, there's a lot of little things that end up getting pulled out of pulled pork that you don't want to really eat. With this guy, you almost take out nothing. So it's worth the extra money. You get a little bit better quality and a little bit better flavor. Let's get this guy open. This plastic must be like extra thick. Try not to make a mess over my cutting boards yet, but we've already made one, so. So as I said, they're both bone in. Got a nice little fat cap on them. When it comes to the fat cap, I really like to kind of cross hatch it so that it renders out a little bit better. That's all we're doing. So I should mention, I've already gone out and started my Komodo Kamado about 20 minutes ago. That's the only head start I've got. So I still had some lump in there. What I did is I put in 3 pieces of Bear Mountain hickory. That's one of the things we're modifying here. A lot of times I use oak when I'm gonna do pulled pork. We're not gonna be in the smoke as long as we would for a low and slow. So I used a little bit of a heavier wood. Right, if you look at apple and pecan, they are much lighter, and then you go to oak, and then you go to hickory, and then at the other end we've got mesquite. So hickory is a little bit heavier, and we're gonna use that to our advantage. I also, so I put the 3 chunks in the bottom, then I put some more Bear Mountain lump on top of it, and then I fired that up with my Grow Blazer Grow Gun. The one thing I'll tell you is that to give it a little bit of a head start, it is cold. We're supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of snow today. And I wanted to get it up to temperature a little quick. So I left the Komodo Kamado open up a little longer than I would normally. And I used the Grow Blazer Grow Gun a little longer. While I was waiting for it to come up temperature a little bit, I ran inside and I got a container of water. So some smoke it here a little bit. It'll also keep these guys nice and moist. I'm not gonna go out and spray, but I don't want it to be a dry, hot heat. It'll just give us a little bit more moisture in there. Then added a couple pieces of cherry on top. And then we close it up. I open up the bottom vent halfway, and then as we got up towards 350, close it down to about 1/8 on the left side there. Top vent, we opened up to 2.5 turns to get it going. And then as it got closer, we're open about a turn, maybe a turn and a quarter right now, okay? Today, we're gonna just use some of this Yoder pork rub. It's like, what do I have that is enough for 2 pork butts? And I didn't have a lot of options, so this is what we ended up with. We gotta be aware we got raw meat on our hands when you're handling this stuff. When in doubt, wash your bottles when you're done. It's an easy mistake to make. We're gonna be good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on the bottom, and actually I am going to move these guys. I'm gonna move them over here so I can catch some of the rub. There we go. Look, if you're using a wooden cutting board, it's super easy between shots. I do this all the time, just some soap and water, and away you go. I'll wash it again when I'm done, but since I'm gonna put this on top and not make it sat down somewhere, we're going to just go the extra mile. So always start on the bottom, make sure we get the sides. All right, so we're in pretty good shape. You can see the color changed. I noticed I missed a couple spots here. I'm just gonna touch that up a little bit. If you're paying attention, you would have noticed I had nailed my watch into the side of the pork, so I had to disinfect my watch and clean it. So we're ready. Today we're using the Typhus Sync Quad. I do have the dual, but I also have the quad, so I wanted to show you the quad today. It works identical to the dual. Actually, here's the Sync Duo. We got the quad. Today I'm using the quad just to use something different. Only difference is 4 versus 2. I do have a discount code below, and I have a first look at this guy, and I gotta tell you, I'm very, very impressed so far. I've had 0 drops, and I've had problems with drops in the past, let me tell you. And today, since it's going to be snowing, I'll find my bone here. I can keep the base inside, and away we go. All right, so I got 1 and 2 here. I'm gonna show you this right here. We're gonna go tap, we'll set up a cook. Set that at 205. Okay, and then we'll go, that one, we'll do a smart cook as well. Same thing, right? So it's telling us our ambient temperature, our probe temperature, and then it'll tell us our ambient. And then it also, you can see down there, it says remaining. So it'll calculate that once we get these guys on. Speaking of which, we got to get these guys on. It is 11:40, all right? So I spent 20 minutes prepping these guys. I got to be done by 5:20 to keep into my 5-hour window. Let's get these guys on here. So today, as I mentioned, I've got some hot water on the left side. If we go on the left here, this is our hot side. Our right side is our cold side. There's no direct heat underneath of it. And what's gonna happen is that hot water is gonna steam, add some moisture. We're gonna put both of our butts here on the right-hand side and just let them soak up some of that smoke goodness. So our pork is on a couple things. What I've done is I put it off to the right, not directly over that water, right? I don't want that water steam coming up and making the bottom kind of mushy. I don't need all that water going into it. I just want a nice moist environment. All right, so we've done that. Make sure you give yourself a little room so that the smoke can give all sides of your pork some love. And now we'll just hurry up and wait. I am gonna do one other little trick here to help hit my timeline, but I'll bring it back as we get closer. So I have exactly 1.5 hours left. We've got to speed this up a little bit, but we're actually not doing too bad. If we look at things, you can see one's at 152, one is at 133. I had a little bit of a curveball. I'll talk about that in a second. But if we look at this, we're saying one's going to be done in an hour and 42, and the other one's going to be done in an hour 47. One of them is a little smaller, and luckily for me, it's the one that's at 133, so it's moving along well. So yeah, so we are 3 hours and 23 minutes into the cook for both of them, and we're in pretty good shape. Now, the curveball that I had is that I felt that one felt a little firm, and then once I got the probe in it and I set up my phone, it was at 30 degrees. So I was like, oof, that's a lot colder than I expected. So that one's really lagging behind. The other one, the smaller one, at defrosting time, I threw them in the fridge 3 days ago, so I thought they'd be done. But I think we're on track. What we're gonna do now is we're going to wrap. Like, if you look about 2 hours in, I went outside and I had a look, and like you can see there's a lot of smoke. We pushed it up to 400 dome temperature, so our ambient temperature went up to about 362. Make sure we're doing a little fast cook here. You can see that the bark picked up nicely, that fat's starting to run right out of the top. Still got some water left. We're in pretty good shape. Now, it was a pretty you can see smoke throughout the entire cook. You can still see smoke now, which is great. It's not a billowing white smoke, but it is a heavy blue smoke. There's a fair amount of wood in there. We're not going to be in the smoke as long as we would normally, so I wanted to amp that up. Let me go get these guys. We'll have a look at them. We're going to wrap them, and we're going to rush through the next hour and a half. All right, so here's what they look like right before we pull them off. You can see there's a little bit of smoke still happening. We're down to 350 dome temp. Had a look near the end there, and I could see that my lump was pretty low, so I did take a moment to add some. But if you look at these guys, they're looking pretty darn good. Little crunchy on this one side, ooh. But overall, not too bad. Here's your other guy here. Nice fat separation there. Good color all the way around. I'm going to take this guy out and a little bit better wrapping. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to use a little bit of this vinegar sauce I made. I've got a video on this stuff. I want to add just a little bit more moisture in here, especially because we got little crusty parts there. This will soften them right up. And of course, add some amazing flavor. Okay. We'll rotate this guy this way. Foil here, so I'm trying to just save it before I wrap it again. Let's use the rest of this stuff up. Trying to keep it nice and tight so that I can keep as much of the vinegar sauce close to it. So I'm going to throw these guys back on, and I'll bring you back as soon as we're done. All right, so let's try some pork first off. Before I share some details, we'll shred this, we'll try it, and then we'll answer the big question at hand. Did we hit our 5-hour mark? So I'm going to pull this out. These guys are done. Get my pan dirty that goes in the oven, so we'll put that there. There's number one. Now, the one thing I will tell you is that I had these in the pan, and some of the fat and my vinegar sauce leaked out a little bit because I was running at such a high temperature. It did burn, so this is a different container. I thought I would be doing myself a favor to catch some, but didn't turn out that way. Nice clean bone pull. Feels like shredded pork. Lots of moisture here. We didn't have a problem with it drying out at all, which is good to see. And just kind of for reference, it rested maybe 10 minutes, not that long. 20 minutes for the first one, because one was done quicker than the other. Lots of pink here. You can see good smoke got into it. Tenderness is there, juiciness is there. Just pulls right apart. Yeah, good pork. Now let's answer a couple questions. Take this out of here. All right, so before I can tell you whether or not we hit our goal of 5 hours, let me make sure that this is doggy approved. I'll take a couple pieces here. Another little piece out there, because they are both sitting here. They love some pork. All right, Cookie, it's hot. Hope I didn't burn your tongue. What's up, Ollie? Oof, should I take my finger off? Doggy approved? Yes. So let's look at our times here. The one pork butt that was a little smaller cooked in 5 hours and 33 minutes. The other one that was almost frozen, the inside was 30 degrees after being out there for 10 minutes. So you know it was cold. It took 6 hours and 4 minutes. So we didn't hit our goal of 5 hours, but there are a couple caveats here. Obviously, number one, don't put nearly frozen meat on there. It really slows down your cook time. But number two, the one thing I did is that if you notice when I was filling up the lump, I emptied out a bag. There was the end of a bag, so it was really some small pieces. Then I topped it up with some larger pieces. But when I went out before I wrapped these guys, I noticed that the lump was a little bit low. So what I did is I brought these in, and then I went out and I added some more lump. I dumped it on top of the existing, wrapped these, threw them back on, didn't think anything of it. And then about 35 minutes later, I'm like, let me check my temperatures. And I was at like 275. I was like, oh, what the heck did I do? And then I realized that what I should have done is I should have opened up the vents. I dumped on a whole bunch of brand new lump. I should have opened up the vents to help it get going quicker and get my temperature back up. So it took another 20 minutes to get it up the temperature. So I really lost, 50 minutes at least in that little mistake alone. Other than that, I mean, this is some good pork. This is definitely, it's moist, got some good smoke flavor to it. Is it as good as low and slow? Well, the thing is with low and slow is that fat render is a product of temperature and time. Those two things marry together to give you that perfect brisket. This guy, I think we rushed it a little bit. We could have got a little bit more rendering in there, and I think that fat is flavor, right? So it would have added a little bit more flavor to it. It's good, don't get me wrong, and to save 3-4 hours, this is gonna make any person happy with some pulled pork. But now I gotta try them side by side because my gut tells me that one's low and slow is just got a little bit more flavor and some more smoke in it. If there's something that you wanna see, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna link the video about the vinegar sauce I made right here. Check that out if you're into vinegar sauce. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you soon.